So here you say if you're dumb and want to pay for it, go through here and pay the inflation prices. But if you want to negotiate, go to this line. And if you want it free, go to this line. Wow, we would have never believed this. We're on Spotify, we're on Apple, we're on Google. Go out there and listen to us. So we're excited about it. We're glad you're excited about it too. Relevant rants, because today we're ranting because it is relevant.
Yeah, and there's lots of things to rant about.
Oh my gosh!
Lots of things.
Today we're gonna make a disclosure right up front.
Yeah,
we are God-fearing people.
We are,
and we'll be talking about some things today. And we're jumping right in with the Titan submersible. I don't know what you call it. Do you call it a submarine? I'm not sure. I don't know.
I don't know. It's an expensive trash can.
Is it classified as submarine?
What's the definition of submarine? It's submersible underwater to a depth, but probably not the depth that it went to.
We should do our homework and figure this one out. But whatever you consider the Titan, it imploded, and the Coast Guard is saying that after they found the debris on the floor of the Titanic, and the Titanic has now claimed 5 more victims.
Sadly, yeah.
And
the thing is, there's a lot of people talking about, oh, we're happy. It's like that's ridiculous. But you're happy that someone's died. You're making fun of it. There are things that, sadly, there are also bits that are kind of humorous about it, but certainly not making fun of the people who died in any way.
People lost their life.
Yeah.
Wives have lost husbands, and one had lost a husband and a son.
People have lost parents.
Yeah. And then the tragedy is that one of them is the great-granddaughter of a victim of great-granddaughter or great-great-granddaughter of 2 victims from the Titanic.
Yeah, well, and one of the victims was someone who'd actually been on several excursions to the Titanic, and then the owner of the company, and then some other people that were very wealthy.
Yeah. Well, you had to be wealthy because you
$250,000, I believe it was.
Yes.
Jeez.
Yes. So
I don't know if I'll be spending that kind of money on vacation anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, it should have included a round trip, but unfortunately it didn't. I mean, it is. There's a lot of memes out there, but we're just going to talk about it because I think it needs to be talked about. I don't think a lot of the government's thinking they should get involved now and put federal regulations on these things, and I go,
maybe they should have done it a while ago.
Well, but I think that kills the American spirit of exploration. Or there again, we talked about some of the things that Lindbergh did.
Yeah.
When he flew, he basically made a flying fuel can and flew. Where would people make the discoveries that they do? Elon Musk right now, I don't think he's asking the federal government if he can shoot a spaceship into the air. I mean,
well, I think it's really interesting because they knew the risks, right?
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, I actually went kind of down this rabbit hole, and that
doesn't surprise me.
Well, I don't always, because I'm pretty busy. But on this particular one, I was interested. My kids were interested, so we kind of did some research. The only fortunate thing here is there was no pain. These people died instantly.
Yes.
So. But the thing was, they had several warnings. There was people in the community that are knowledgeable. I was talking about James Cameron. You think, oh, James Cameron, he's a movie director. Yeah, he is, but he's probably more knowledgeable about the undersea exploration than he is about even creating movies.
Well, if you watch his movies, they take 3 hours to tell the story.
Right.
I was watching him on a video where he was explaining this, and I got tired of. He was very knowledgeable, and he was detailed. And he lost me in the details.
Yeah,
he really did. But he explained very well of why this happened.
Yeah, well, they were talking about the fact that this vehicle normally they're made out of steel or aluminum or a combination thereof. This one being made out of carbon fiber was carbon fiber is lighter and stronger than either of those materials. However, there's no crush strength, right? So, this vehicle, I know you had read that it had been tested or whatever, but I'd read otherwise. So I don't know. Maybe it was a similar type vehicle. This particular one, maybe it wasn't. I'm not sure, but they had made other trips. But the thing is that they got several letters from people in the community. There was many red flags, like don't do this, this is wrong. But how much did the people going down like know the risk? I think they had to have known that maybe there's some risk, but the percentage chance, they were like, oh, it's 2% chance. Well, they hit the lottery.
Well, they were obviously, hopefully, very smart people because they were all very wealthy. And I don't think you become that wealthy without having, a lot of common sense.
Not generally, yeah.
But when I heard
But also, you become very wealthy a lot of times by being a risk taker, right?
yes, they are without risk, there's no reward.
Yeah.
But I heard, I alarmed me, the game controller alarmed me, but then I was like, well, okay, I'm going to buy that. But when I heard the person who lost his life that, created this, talking about getting some of the parts from Camping World. Was it a Camping World?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I was
he said Camping World.
I was like, what? I mean,
well, and then
it caught my attention.
What I thought was completely nutso was the whole thing was controlled by a off-brand Xbox controller.
Yeah, I mean, it is. So the Wall Street Journal talked about the prior submersible passengers. They recounted a thrilling experience, pretty extreme. I mean, so there were people who had went down there, and we're looking at a picture of it, and it looks like it was a very crowded, cramped
Would you
environment.
get in that thing?
No.
I think back in the day you probably wouldn't even fit in that thing.
No, I would not have fit in that thing. I mean,
I looked at that thing and I was like, I don't think I'd want to go in there on dry land, let alone be dropped 2 miles underwater.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much about this, and my heart does go out.
Yeah.
But as people are out there and they're kind of making fun of it, and some people, are just kind of making fun in spite of how these people spent their money. I think, well, they made their money; they can spend it any way they want.
Right.
But I do think our executive producer Nathaniel Tweed talked about what if there had been a dog on there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Would PETA be upset and stuff? I don't think you would probably see the disrespect, which is kind of a challenging thing for human nature.
Yeah.
So hey, if you're out there and you're considering something like this,
I would think twice about it.
I remember when I went to Costa Rica and we signed some waivers to go ziplining, and I do know that in these other countries, the precautions aren't the same as everywhere else. So, so I just think that you got to do your homework.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I would want to make sure that I made sure, but like for me, having little kids, a wife, people that depend on me, a team.
Well, I'll share a story.
I don't know if I could put my life at risk like that.
Well, my wife and I, when we got married, we went on a honeymoon. We went to Jamaica, and there was a scuba diving excursion. You had to resort qualify, and my wife and I both did.
Okay.
And so the last day that we went out, we didn't go with the head guide. We went with his employees.
Okay.
And, they were like, hey, you're going to have fun today. And I was like, oh, okay. So we dove deeper down than we were supposed to.
Of course you did.
The cat's away, the mice will play, right?
Uh-huh.
And so I remember my wife was behind me, Tiffany, and we were just resort scuba trained.
Right. Well, I've never even gone that far, so I wanted to do that. Ludavia and I wanted to do that on our honeymoon, and they just kind of talked us out of it, honestly.
So my wife and I did it, and we were young, and I guess the other word that goes with that, young and dumb. And my wife's very educated and superintendent of a school district. So, but we went, and I noticed as I looked around, my wife wasn't behind me anymore. So I looked at the guy who was supposed to be close to her, and he just kept pointing me to go on. I looked around, I go, he goes,
he thought you were flipping him off.
So when he said that, I know my wife is now on the surface. So I immediately went to the surface and checked on her, and she just said that she she was down there and her ears were bothering her.
This was before her issues.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was just I mean I got worried about her, and I immediately went to the top, but we were too far down. We were, and that was on us. So yeah. So here we are, and Mike, we got an MSNBC analyst, and she loses it on air because she says the House Republicans should just back off. She was outraged over Hunter Biden. They were outraged over the Hunter Biden plea deal. She was like, back off. He's pled guilty. And I'm not so sure she is correct.
Well, they don't think their team should ever have any penalties against them, right?
Man, so new news is the House of Ways and Means Chair Jason Smith is starting to reveal details of felony charges whistleblowers say the IRS recommended against Hunter Biden as far back as 2017, but they were kind of put off. And I'm like, hey, let's go back and check that out because you can make a plea deal, but let's talk about. So what I guess is happening is the IRS whistleblowers are a little mad because he got a slap on the wrist, in their opinions. I mean, I heard somebody else say that there were some African Americans that were going to jail for less than Hunter Biden did.
Yeah.
And how the IRS are not equally sharing IRS people who break IRS laws.
Yeah.
And I guess if you're the president's son,
you can do whatever you want.
You get to slap on the wrist. But I think it's because that they don't want to dig any farther because Joe Biden is probably involved.
Very likely.
Yeah. And there again, as this guy.
I mean, I'm gonna say, and this is my opinion, so I can
allegedly.
Hunter Biden is involved. I mean, excuse me, Joe Biden is involved. And so is Jill, and the whole family is involved. Again, my opinion. They're all involved, and they don't want to dig because they're going to dig up stuff on the big guy. Who's the big guy? Oh, gee, let me think. It couldn't possibly be Joe, could it?
So here's the theory, and it isn't my theory. I heard it the other day on Dan Bongino, and Dan was saying, so at one point, Obama, because this is Obama's third term. I mean, that's we're all gonna just say it. It is what it is. But Obama said, "Hey, Hillary's my gal," right?
Yeah, which is crazy, right?
But basically, I think there had to be a conversation, and I do think, as it brought out, that Obama looked at Joe and said, "Hey, Joe, sit this one out because Hillary Clinton's our girl."
Yeah, you're not capable of doing this. I don't trust you.
And so when Trump beat Hillary, and he did, and got in office, then the backup plan.
Well, nobody expected him to beat Hillary.
No, they didn't. So I think Joe and Hunter leveraged because he's going to be unemployed. Of course, he's going to get a book deal that he doesn't have to write, and he's going to have speeches that he gives and gets paid for. But they didn't expect him to have to work to get as a president. So I think they leveraged his job and say, hey, let's make as much money as we can. Yeah. And because I'm never going to be president because Hillary's going to be president.
Well, so the big question mark, and again, this is speculation, my opinion, allegedly, whatever you want to say for YouTube safe, but
are we YouTube safe?
I don't know.
YouTube safe.
But the big question mark I have: how much did Obama make on this?
Well, I think,
and why isn't he being dragged into it?
Well, I think he is because they're saying it all happened, and now they're saying that his knowledge was there. So I'm hoping that they do. I'm hoping that Jason Smith, the chair of the House of Ways Committee, keeps pushing on this. And I pray the whistleblowers keep doing it because we need to know now. I mean, hey, hello. We now know that the Steele dossier was fake. And it was Hillary Clinton that basically brought it up. And a lot of people got...
Well, let me correct you a little bit there, Tom.
Okay.
So I think what you mean to say, it's now been proven beyond the shadow of a doubt to pretty much everyone that it's fake.
Yeah.
We knew all along it was fake.
Yeah. So but but the liberals and Democrats don't want to accept this. So as we go down this rabbit hole a little farther, Laura Ingraham with Fox News kind of shares a story. And it's funny, I'll just read her comment. It says, now just when you thought the Bidens couldn't get any sleazier, they surprise you. Whether it's sniffing girls' hair or copying a feel of Eva Longoria at the White House, the president has no shame or no sense of maybe Neither.
Well, I mean, it's insane that anybody can even think that he. Did you see the whole thing with the Pride Night at the like? First of all, like I'm gonna go out and say it, and Alex is gonna get pissed, and he might even have to edit it out. But we're calling it Pride. I think it should be Shame Night.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my. Am I going too far, Alex?
Well, we had a.
I mean, they're out there topless, Tom, in front of the damn White House.
Did you?
It's ridiculous.
Did you hear what the guy's excuse was? Because basically it's a guy that has who thinks he's a girl, and it's gender dysphoria. And I like the way Ben Shapiro put it on Daily Wire, which we love Daily Wire, and my daughter is their talent manager, director. And so as they're there, it's a dude who has twigs and berries,
Yeah.
who has a boob job.
Yeah.
So basically, he showed everybody how proud he was of his top half being a woman and his bottom half.
Yeah.
He didn't show that part, but it's true. And they said, you can't do that. And he goes, well, I could when I was a dude. I'm like, pick a side then.
Well, but you're calling it gender dysphoria, and I'm sorry. And again, I'm being a little bit controversial today, and that's okay because I really don't give a damn anymore. But the thing is, like you're calling it gender dysphoria, but or you're trying to.
He's confused, Mike.
He's not though. The thing is, like how much? What's the actual real percentage of people that have gender dysphoria?
0.0 something.
Right. So these people are just having an excuse to either get attention and or just be a flat out weirdo.
They are. Well, he just, maybe he was running.
Sorry, I'm getting a little riled up,
Maybe
but I
he was
have
running
strong
an
opinions
ad
about
on
this.
how well the plastic surgeon did. I don't know, but he is equipped. I mean, top half man. I mean,
He's
woman,
like a centaur.
bottom half. Yeah. Yeah. So apparently, there, Hunter Biden, the apple didn't fall far from the tree. So Hunter Biden apparently has some lurid details are coming about Hunter's leisure activities. If the laptop wasn't enough.
Right.
So I guess that the LA Times is reporting that a founder of something called SNTCM, which is a private sex club in Los Angeles, was banned from his club that he founded after he had the nerve to say Hunter Biden was a member.
Yeah.
Now what it is, it's a private sex club, I guess costs $75,000 a year to belong. Now, I'm not sure I'm not sure what goes on there.
Yeah, that was my question. What is a sex club?
But I guess Hunter only paid $10,000, so he got a discount.
Yeah.
But I guess he was so bad they kicked him out.
Jeez.
I was like, what the heck? How bad do you have to be to get kicked out?
And right of a sex club.
So these two. I mean, could Joe say I'm proud of my son? Probably so. I guess.
I mean, he might. I don't know that anybody else can reasonably say that.
Where's the bar on that family?
I don't think there is one. Tom.
I don't know either. So we're gonna get a lot of trouble today. But hey, we're just
Alex is gonna just put this
we're
up today.
having fun because we're just quoting things that other people are putting
I'm just
out
speaking
there.
my mind.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, we are. So it's funny that Biden was with our governor of the great state of California. We're gonna get to that in a minute. But
California.
Yeah, that's true. But Biden, he was with Gavin Newsom, and I guess as you look at it, Gavin Newsom's probably standing next to him. But it says that President Biden claimed Monday that his administration will have conserved 30% of all lands and water under U.S. jurisdiction by the year 2020. And I guess there was a moment of silence because that was 3 years ago.
He doesn't know what year he's in.
Before he even took office. But Gavin didn't correct him.
He wasn't paying attention.
If you watch
He's just I'm waiting for this dude to die so I can have my turn.
If you watch the video, he may not have to wait till he dies. I mean, Gavin may get his turn.
Yeah.
And if anyone's out there and votes
grief.
for Gavin Newsom, I loved it this week because Sean Hannity got to sit down with our governor, and Sean was just talking to him how bad California is, and then our great governor of our state of California, Gavin Newsom, said he corrected Sean Hannity and says, "Well, have you seen the new poll come out by UCLA?" And Hannity goes, "Like I'm going to believe a report from the University of California, Los Angeles, and on a report they do for the state of California."
Well, did I share
like
with
they're going
you
to be honest.
Did I share with you the Babylon Bee video about the tent hunters? Okay, so Babylon Bee, you can share a link, Alex. They had this video of
And there's satire.
Yeah, right, of course. But it's like people looking for a home. They have the shows on HGTV or whatever. They were like, oh well, we have $425,000 to invest in a home. They're like, okay, great. We got some great tents you can look at in California. You're like, where's the bathroom? Oh, it's outside. They're like, but just wait until 2024 because you'll have the opportunity for everybody in the country to live this way.
Yep. Yeah, if you vote for Gavin Newsom.
Yeah.
Just look at our state. So as we're going to talk about that as we close our show, I guess that the people are were inspired back June 21st, 2023, because I guess Greta had, and I guess a little bit of miscommunication if you really go down this rabbit hole, but I guess there was a science professor that says if America didn't stop using fossil fuels by 2023, the world will end. So I guess Greta probably got confused because she is a confused young lady.
Honestly, I kind of feel sorry for her.
I do too.
Because I think they just...
She's graduated college.
I'm impressed.
Yeah.
They're using her as kind of like their spokesperson, but not only that, like I don't think she actually even knows what the hell she's talking about. And they're just like kind of carting her out, almost like they do with Biden, except...
They don't call it climate change anymore. They call it global warming now, right?
Well, I don't know. They don't know what to call it. They're just like, just listen to us and do what we say. Give us all your money.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're sitting in Bakersfield, which normally like I remember I had a post I looked at the other day. It was a reminder of it was 110, and we were sitting there. It was like 70 degrees.
And it's crazy because in California, I think we had something like 200% water, and
300.
And California right now is under flood warnings because the snow's still melting.
Oh, it hasn't even really started to melt yet.
The ski slopes are going to stay open in July. So,
yeah.
So everybody said we're in a drought because of global warming, and hey, guess what? We're not in a drought.
I think we're past that. But I think the great governor of Gavin Newsom, he's going to do everything he can to make sure that we don't conserve any of that water. We got private corporations like Wonderful Company that's doing everything they can to get as much of it.
Yeah.
Which good on them. They should. Because water prices have been astronomical for a decade plus probably. So they're finally like down to not only reasonable but below reasonable prices. So they're like, we're going to take as much as we possibly can.
Bakersfield right now, I still believe, is in a flood warning. I think
Yeah.
Still
well, I just went out to our friend John's place the other day, and I don't know if you've seen
the river has reclaimed his property.
Oh, it has. Has it ever? and Alex has some of that footage too.
I love that. So if you go on and you listen to this video that we have, it's talking about how now it's illegal to confront a shoplifter.
Oh, this is insane. Alex, can you play that video for us?
Bill 553 in California would make it illegal for store employees
Watch his
to
face.
confront shoplifters. So if I've got this right, it's not illegal to shoplift, but it's illegal to confront the shoplifters. I mean, this is baffling.
This doesn't make any sense. This is La La Land.
Coddling criminals and not supporting crime victims. You're basically telling the crime victims.
And they want this for the whole country.
This is a very
this Californianize.
common thing. The smash and grabs, the shoplifting. These small business owners are being traumatized. They're being repeatedly hit by these shoplifters.
Yeah, it's insane.
If they do something, they get put in jail.
And if you do,
Right?
you're gonna be
Like,
charged
why is
with
it
a crime.
like
Now the bill
it-
sponsor says
it's baffling.
only
Like-
concerned about the safety of shop owners. Well, if you're concerned about the safety of shop owners,
Punish
put
the
these
criminal?
people behind bars.
Put them in jail.
Keep
Change
them.
the laws.
Change the law. Enforce the laws, for goodness sake.
I love it. He says enforce the law.
Association president.
You can stop it now, Alex, because I mean, if you're out there and you think this is okay, Mike and I are talking about who's going to pay for stuff
Right,
now?
like why? Okay, so and I don't know where the bar is because I think it was like $950. Anything below that, they're not even going to try to prosecute.
Mike, I mean, they're not
But-
going to look at your shopping cart now.
Right.
I think.
It really is like, okay, so they're not allowed to say anything, and it's legal for me to take anything under $950. Why am I paying for groceries?
But Mike, I still think that people that are shoplifting should go through a separate checkout line. Just say, hey, we're not paying for this, but you need to scan it.
Yeah, we're
so we
gonna
can
do you a
repack-
favor.
So we can restock the shelves for the next time you come in, or for the next guy that's coming in. We got to know how to reorder this stuff before our cupboards are bare.
I mean, at this point, how do they decide who pays and who has to pay and who doesn't?
They need a shopping line that says shoplifters only.
And if I go, can I just be like, hey, you know what? Like I kind of have some morals about this. I'm gonna pay you half. Is that good? We call it good.
So
Or is it like all or nothing? You either got to pay the full ridiculous Biden prices or Biden Newsom prices, or you get it for free.
So I got a solution, Mike. So here you say if you're dumb and want to pay for it, go through here and pay the inflation prices. But if you want to negotiate, go to this line. And if you want it free, go to this line.
Well, I like really at this point,
That'd be like eBay, Mike.
it's not illegal to steal, but it is illegal for them to say anything about you stealing. So so is it even stealing at that point? Why don't I just get my groceries for free and then not even worried about feeding my family and we could eat like kings?
You know what, Mike? You could put a couple of shows together. Remember the show where they would look at a storage unit and bid on it?
Storage wars?
Yeah. You could say, hey, I'm going to give you this for that.
All right.
You know? I think
we're going back. I mean,
so you could
continue our decline in California to a third world country. We're going back to the days of the bazaar where we just negotiate for. I'll give you a goat for that.
Hey, maybe we should put another show together. So you could do that, or it'd be like eBay.
You bid on it?
Yeah. Take a picture of it. And what will you give us for this?
Or they could just run their eBay shop from inside of the grocery store. Like, well, you're not going to make me pay for this, right? I'm selling it online. That's a new business model for Tiffany.
Hey, if you want this to come to your state, elect Gavin Newsom as president of the United States when he runs.
What percentage of the country do you think is dumb enough to vote for Gavin Newsom?
Okay.
I mean, at least a certain percentage of California apparently is.
Yeah, we were because we had a chance to get this knucklehead out of office. We recalled him. But you have so many people that are blind and are going to be like sheep to the slaughter. They just don't want to listen to somebody else. So California is not going to elect a conservative because people are terrified that they're not going to get the free stuff.
Well, I got a question. How much of that election was even a valid, like, not cheating and all of those things? Because they've come out now and more or less said, hey, we're not even going to say anything because, we can't refute it at this point that the election there was fraud that happened. Why would anybody be dumb enough to think that that's not happening at a state level?
Mike, all you need is San Francisco, Los Angeles, San Diego, and the migrants that are coming through, getting a driver's license and getting to vote.
Yeah, they don't know any better. They're just like, hey, the guy gave me free money, so I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I want my free money, so Gavin, you're in, bud.
And free groceries and free cell phone and...
Yeah, but it's all going to be free at one point, so yay.
Right, and also, did you hear about this? Supposedly, and I don't. This was a while back actually, and I don't know where this is sitting. But there was talk of in California at least the government's going to own half of your home.
You know what's so crazy, Mike, is this could be a satire show.
I mean, right?
But
or a conspiracy show? But where do you go when the satire is true?
It's true. What do they say? Truth is greater than fiction.
Right? Jeez.
Hey, we're going to sign off and
We're still praying for our country.
Yes. Well, we're commanded to, but we're going to also hopefully tell the truth and get it back on, because the Bible says if you humble yourself and pray and repent and change your ways, God will heal all that.
That's right. Have a great day. God bless.
Bye.